Hello again. Yes, we're back. Carling presents an evening of legends in association with the IFA. This is our sixth one. They've gone very well indeed, thanks to you. We've been to Glentoran, Glenavon, Distillery, Linfield, Cliftonville. Tonight we're up in the northwest at Institute. 105 years of age, this club, but only since 2002, 8 years ago, was it when they made their entry into Premier League football. Tonight we have 4 men on the panel. We have 3 former players, we have 2 former managers, and we've got the present day manager. Enjoy.
Falsey, you've already answered. Can you tell us all levels you played for Stewart? Junior, intermediate, senior, whatever.
Well, I started out junior level. Bully, Gillard and Kiesel would have been the first point of contact. Under 17, they were in the Northwest League then. I then was down at Korean for a while, but while still playing at Korean, I was still playing, I don't know if you can still technically do that, I was still playing intermediate league for Stewart as well. On an occasional Saturday, used to be the case when Paul's father was managing. There was a period of time maybe that they wouldn't had a full team, and they used to ring round. And a few times as a 16-year-old or 17-year-old, you get the phone call, what are you doing on Saturday? Oh, nothing much. And you would have come out and played, you know. So I've obviously played youth league and I played intermediate league. I didn't play B division. I think I was in England at that time. But then when they came into the first division, Keys was the manager. Played first division, and then obviously the successful promotion time played Premier League as well. So I played a few levels except B division. But to answer your question,
this was for Trevor Porter. When you play for Reading, were you known as Coco the Clown? Is it true?
Jackie, very, very true. Very, very true. As I told everybody, when I went to Reading, and you're talking 73, 74, I was a Bay City Rollers. Fan, and all my clothes was based around Bay City Rollers. And if some of these are far too young, some of these are far too old, and some in between might remember this. Well, Bay City Rollers had the red trousers, the yellow trousers, the blue trousers with all the tartan down the side. Well, that was my trouser, and they were up my leg, you know. And that's my full wardrobe when I went over to Reading. My first day training, I went in and got changed, and I hung my red trousers up in the peg, and I went out the toilet. All I heard was from the coach, "Where the fuck is Coco the Clown?" And he come back and say, "It's me." You know? So yes, Jackie, I was known as Coco the Clown.
Greggy, our squad definitely has the ability to keep us up this season, but do you think they have the hunger and attitude to keep our heads above water and keep us in the Premier League?
I'm very much a manager that believes in his players, and I believe in the ability of the players. And I'm telling you, if I didn't believe that I could keep this team, or we could keep this team in the Irish League, I'm telling you, hand on heart, I wouldn't be here. What I will say is that part of the drive I get, and part of the drive the supporters should get, and this club should get, is proving people wrong. Because I hear time and time again, I hear when Linfield came down the road and we were called a pub team. I hear when other teams come down the road and call us a junior team. I get a lot of my drive, Paul, from proving people wrong. And if I get my drive from proving people wrong, the players should get their drive from proving people wrong, and the club should get the drive from... So as far...
How many matches did you play for Forest, Paul, and when did you play your first match for Stewart?
Forest, I never played any what you would call competitive matches. Would have played pre-season friendlies and friendlies. Actually, one of my claim to fame as the time of the Heysel disaster. The English clubs was banned from Europe, and PSV Eindhoven had organised a friendly in England against Forest. And Forest were quite big at that time under Clough, but there was a rearranged league game in the City Ground, so the day after, so they had to play like a reserve team. So I came on as sub. So that's one of my claims. But so the likes of Ruud Gullit was playing, Van Basten was playing, Koeman was playing. So that's my claim to fame running after them guys that night. But I never actually played any competitive matches. Maybe played for Mansfield Town, maybe my league debut there against Chester. So, but Stewart, my first match as a Stewart player, or my first match?
Stewart player.
13. When I was 13 years of age, I played for the reserves under Bally Blair. He's all know well, good supporter of the club, and then obviously Stanley Hamilton would have been involved in that time as well. So fond memories there, sticking on the left wing. You know, as a bit of a coward, as you all know. Still am a coward, by the way. And stood out, get kicked in that North West League, but it was good times, enjoyed it. And when the pitch was nothing down there, was just a caravan with a wooden fence around it. So when I was 13 years of age.
Graham Fulson, you have played with some players during your time at Stewart. Any madmen?
It'd be fair to say I've played with a few madmen in my time now. There's definitely one springs to mind, and I was chatting to Paul about him earlier on. He was actually devastated that he wasn't considered as a legend tonight for the table. I have to say, on a similar note, the same player, if you were to ask me who was one of the best players in my time that I played with, I would have to say, and that's Raymond McGuinness.
Yeah.
For pure entertainment as a player in the changing room, second to none.
In what way, Graham?
Well, McGinn was always entertaining because McGinn pretty much did his own thing. He did his own warm-up with his coach, Paddy Cassidy. on his own. He did his own team talk after Paul had finished his. And to be fair, I haven't played with him. He played the game his own way. But I've seen many a scuffle in the changing room involving him. But in that promotion season, he was absolutely superb. He was immense. He scored an absolute bag full of goals from midfield. He scared
the opposition as well.
He intimidated players. Not maybe the fact that he had been in the Irish League for a long period of time and had built up a reputation in his earlier career about being an extremely hard player. A lot of players come up against him just didn't want to know, and that to us was that was like a 12th man before we even began. But many players, obviously, Samps is the same. Many players that knew him, he was a fantastic player to play for. He would have been the first boy after a match, if he had played well, would have said to you, fair enough, during a match, if you hadn't played well, he would have let you know as well. And I think that's where I got on well with him, because I let him know plenty of times during a match when he wasn't playing well, and not many players told him, you know. But on the madman level, I think it came from the fact he was a born winner and he wanted to win. So I would say, if anybody stood out in my career, it would have been Raymond McGuinness.
You played, managed and was chairman of the club for a number of years. How would you compare those roles, and which would you say you enjoyed the most?
Most definitely playing. Playing, you had no pressures whatsoever. Take off your jersey on a Saturday and then just go home. You know, but I must admit, going into manager and chairman as well, they've been enjoyable times. Being chairman of the club, taking us from intermediate, the B division, the first division, and then the senior level has been fantastic. I've been very, very proud of that there. But also, when you're chairman, you can't be there on your own. You've got a committee. You've got your vice chairman, you've got your secretary, you've got your treasurer, and then you've got the committee members. And without them, we couldn't have done it. And for them, I'm absolutely chuffed as hell that we've got where we've got, and every one of you deserve it.